Good day, YouTube. How are things in the world of YouTube land? Everything in my land is doing pretty good today. Great day. Finishing off, working, constantly working, never ending. The tiles today. We're working on our second row up here and inside this cavity underneath the hood exhaust. I finished off here last night. Had some tile movement in this area here, hence all the shims. I had a couple of tiles come loose. I had to reset them. I had to replace a chipped tile. I had another chipped tile over on this side. I had to replace, I can't remember which one it was, but one of these guys here. And otherwise, cleaning out around for the screws for the mounting of the receptacles back into their homes. I have to put a piece of tile in here. Remove that screw and then start this tile. But everything so far is rolling along smoothly. So it would appear. All the excitement. I'm your tile setter. JD Tile Setter. How you doing? Nice to make your acquaintance. Once this side's done, we're going to move over to the other side. How exciting. Okay, YouTube. Thanks for viewing. Stay tuned for all the excitement. More to come. Alright, welcome back. I had several options on the table here for starting my next course of tile. My second course of tile up here. So I took off some of my original cut-off pieces and I placed them, and I was taking a measurement. I got 5 3/8. I got 5 3/8. That's the gap that's left at the top above the first course of tiles. So I thought to myself I was going to take a tile and cut off a row. This was 3.5 inches. That was 3.5 inches, and then I was going to add another row that had 1.5 inches. Or 2 inches was too much. So then I found out that this row here was 1 inch and 9/16, and I thought, great, I'm going to take this row and this row and give myself the 5 3/8 measurement, but it didn't come up to 5 3/8. It came up to about 5 1/4 inches, or just under 1/8 under, which is not bad. But oh no, I now remember, it came up to 5.5. That's why I couldn't use it, because it was 5.5, and I have 5 3/8, and I'm not cutting a sliver out of these tiles. It's just impossible. So that was step number 1. Trash that idea. Second idea, similar but different. I thought I would start the tile, instead of this orientation like all the other tiles, the first course, I thought I would start the second course upside down with the same thoughts, that I could get a 5 3/8 measurement. But in fact, I got 5.5 inches again from there to wherever. It was too much. That was option number 2. Option number 3. I finally started measuring all the courses of tile on the mat, trying to determine if there was a number that I could use, which was 5 3/8. Well, I finally found a size inside the tile that I could use. So I separated, I cut the tiles. No, I'm not going to use this bottom row. Cut the top off. No, I'm not going to use that top row either. But in fact, right in the middle of the tile, right in the field, the middle of the field, I found the golden number. This is 5 and, I was going to say 5/16, but 5 1/4-ish. 5 5/16. This fits here amazingly. So this is 5 1/4. 5 1/4 approximately. This space is 5 3/8. I take my tile, I put it up here, and it fits amazingly good. Got 1/8 gap here, I got 1/8 gap at the top. This is how I'm going to do my layout for the second course of the tile. I found out that this course, right in the middle of the tile, is going to suit my needs for doing the second course. Okay, let's get this show on the road, shall we? V-notch trowel, small knife. Just gonna stir. Oh, I should. So I need to trowel that mud in there liberally. I say liberally, not too much, but enough. Always listening. I always like listening to some music. My music at work. Maybe not your music. That's what keeps me pumping along here. Grab your first tile, cut and size to go in around the tree. Okay, let's get this tile seated. Just like that. It's installed. We've got a tamper here. You can just put it flat. Put some even pressure there. Okay, not a lot. I'm gonna take this center out here. Just gonna cut you here. And I'm gonna cut just seated top. Mud, a little more mudding. My V-notch trowel, up strokes, down strokes, different folks. Looks like a good application of mud there. Hey, I just put the tile in. I'm gonna slap some mud on the wall. Get it prepared for the next course of tile. Should just go right in there. And it does. Fits in there nice. Hamper. Slap some more mud on this substrate. Grab your tile. Slap her on there. Slap that mud on there. Getting close to a short stroke again. Okay. How about some glare off these shiny tiles, huh? Alright, slap that on there. Looks good there. Slap her on. Getting closer. Closer, closer, and closer. Slather some more of this adhesive on here. Okay, now that we got another tile, slap her in there. Tiles in there. Boom. Slap her on there. Everything's all in the same plane. Gotta do some fitting, some cutting, some chopping, and some building. Alright, let's take a measurement here. I'm looking at 7.5. Okay, here we are at the workbench. I'm going to grab a blue tile. 7.5 inches. Take a square, or use your best judgment, and try to make a square line for you to cut. That's going to be my cut line. So what I like to do is just make sure when I get my ruler on my line that I can get that roller to go across the line, the center of the line, or to the left of the line or to the right of the line, depending on how you're cutting or what you're cutting. Okay, here goes nuts and honey. Firm pressure. Do not stop cutting. And try to avoid going over things twice. Okay, set that aside. Grab a pencil or a dowel or something. Place it underneath the cut that you just made. And with even, steady pressure, just press down. And your tiles should break right off. Relatively cleanly. This is a cut edge. Just take a knife, cut through your backing. Basically, there is your cut piece, all ready for installation. Does it measure up? You tell me. Getting a little closer here. What does that say? 7.5 inches. Let's go see if it fits. Dry fit your piece. Alright, we're back here. Just going to dry fit this piece in the corner, see how it lines up. And I'm going to say that it lines up pretty good. I've got a tight gap here. I'm in behind the trim. All the tile's going to fit in there perfect. Let's get her buttered up and installed. Mud. Some more mudding. After I'm gonna stuff this tile in there, just like that. In you go. No messing around. Up and in. Okay. Yeah. Relatively flat there. Everything's relatively flat, except for this tile. I just want to be able to, like, a little bit of breathing room here would be nice. I'm going to have to shove a shim in there. A shim up here. Can get one in. How about that top row? Yes. That will have to be what it's going to be. These will have to be what they're going to be. Actually, there's room in there. There you have a shiny reflective backsplash. It's amazing. How beautiful that looks. I was just measuring to see my space that I have here between the cabinets, i.e. the width of the stove here. So I came over here and I was looking at all the leftover cutoffs that I had here. I remember I took the center section out and I laid it up here, and I've got a bottom and a top left. Got a whole pile of these. Got a whole stack of them. So what I did was I started to take apart these sections. So this is going to be whichever end that goes like that or like this. There we go, that's how it goes. Okay. So I laid out, I cut the tiles. What do I mean by cut them? well, I didn't actually have to cut this row here. I just took this row and I laid it out. I put 3 pieces together and wanted to find 30 inches. It's this one here that I still have to cut. I'm going to cut out this 1/2 inch tile. This 1/2 inch tile, I'm going to cut that out and then use the other pieces. So I measured out 30, well, I didn't measure out 30 inches. I just laid this measuring tape on the tiles to see where 30 inches would land. So what I thought to myself was, if I cut, or if I leave this tile here intact, moved my tape over to the 30-inch mark, where does 30 inches end up? 30 inches ends up right here. This is where I'm going to make my cut on 2 tiles. 2 small little cuts that are fairly sizable. I can easily snap them off. And I'm going to have this profile. I'm going to have a full tile, and almost a full tile. It's not even going to be noticeable. Alright, let's get that set up. Alright, here we are at the cutting table. I've laid out the tiles. I gave myself the gaps that I need for proper spacing. I've got the measuring tape set up here at 30 inches on the tile edge, and I'm just going to mark the other end of the tile right here, just like that. I hope that's pretty close to being in line. Looks good to me. And down here at the 30-inch mark, I'm going to have to cut this tile as well. Right there. Okay, everything else can stay the same. So remove, remove, remove. This one stays. Oh, sorry, this one gets cut out. This one's just going to get cut off the mesh. Hey YouTube, I don't want you to miss any action. Glass cutter, pencil, ruler, get everything else out of the way. This tile I'm cutting. This tile I am not cutting, and this tile I'm cutting. Let's do the single cut first. Just make sure that's through there. Cut. Boom. Take your knife. Cut the mesh on the back. Still, that's a good tile right there. That's a factory edge tile all the way around. This is my cut off piece. This is the piece I want to have. My second piece that I have to cut. Should get on the line. Nice firm pressure. You're going to get the best cut. You don't want to go over it more than once. One piece gone and the other piece gone. Nice clean breaks here. Nice clean cuts. Those will probably be garbage. So there's my other cut piece for the left side. This is my cut piece for the right side. And then my intermediate. And everything just fits together, just so. Got a nice panel to install above the stove. Let's go to the kitchen. All right, let's get back to some mudding. Position that. Okay. On she goes. Yeah. On the wall it goes. There you go. Into position. On average, it's 3 inches, 3 inches, 3 inches. That's going to be my. Where do I get 3 inches from? For my last piece of tile above the stove. This here works out to 3.5 inches. I don't see 3 inches on here anywhere. I see 2.5. I see 2.5. So that's going to leave a 1/2 inch, which this tile is 1/2 inch. That small tile is 1/2 inch. So what I was thinking was I was going to remove this 1/2 inch row of tile. So I'm going to cut the mesh. I'm going to separate these 4 rows of tile. And I'm going to remove this row of tiles right here and then butt the other tiles together and install them. That'll give me my 3 inches. Cut the mesh. Cut the mesh. Separate your rows. Remember, I'm taking out this 1/2 inch row of tile here. And then I'm going to place these 3 tiles together. And what do I have left over? 3 inches. Just under 3 inches, 2 7/8. That's perfect. So I'm going to have to do some cutting again. I need to lay out enough of this tile for 30 inches. Okay, along the mesh, on the tile's edge. Removing that 1/2 inch center tile. Just like that. There we've got our 3 tiles. That'll give us 30 inches. Somewhere I'm going to have to make some cuts. Let's lay these tiles out and see how they look. Which side's this tile on? How does this go? Like this? And like that. And I can stagger. So make a cut down here, 3 tiles. Should be fairly easy. And 30 inches here. This is already broken. I just have to make a cut here and a cut here. So that's how that row of tiles is going to finish off right up there in that space. 30 inches. Here. Like that, on that side. One more time. Lay the measuring tape. I got 30 inches, I got the tape set up there. I'm on 30 inches. I have even space joints. Okay, so gone, gone. That's going to be gone. Cutting out the mesh. Just have to cut the mesh out there. Down at this end here. Gone, gone. This piece is already cut. That's what that's going to look like. Let's get cutting. Alright, this tile no, this tile no. No cut, no cut. That's the intermediate. Left tile, right tile, and I have to cut this one. So where do I want to begin? Without getting things mixed up here. That's the left one. That's the right one. Let's start with this guy right here. Clean cut. Use your Olfa knife or your utility knife to cut the backing. This piece, garbage. This piece I keep. So this was the right tile of the top row. Okay, so that's the top row of tiles. Intermediate. Okay, this is the left. Let's do the one cut here on the right tile. I guess it's not going to matter. I'm not should hit the other tile. Nope, looks good. All right. Just making sure I didn't chip it. There, just clean break. Nice clean break. Take your utility knife. Cut the backing. Try not to hurt yourself. Try not to cut yourself. Things are sharp. Last tile. Oops, sorry. Tripod. Should be okay. One and two. Another clean cut. Take your utility knife, cut the backing. You should be good to go. Intermediate, left and right. Let me check to see if I've got 30 inches. Let's check and see if we got 30 inches on this. And we do. 30 inches. 30 inches of tile to fill in the last of the backsplash. Okay. All right, let's get mudding. Last row. You have to use even more caution here. Got less space to work with. Messy. Try to spread the mud a little evenly.
last roll here. I'm just going to trust and have faith that it's going to fit right in there. And it does. Beautiful. Nice count. Single tile. Put that in there. Just like that. Install the tile. Yeah, that's it. That's looking sweet. All nice and flat. Put a shim and a shim at the end there. Okay, flash. Alright, stuff that tile in there. Yeah, there we go. We're in. Keep your vertical joints evenly spaced.
Stay tuned for the conclusion of this backsplash on this side of the wall. Don't forget, there's this side to do still. Yay! Yay! Exciting times. Alright, thanks for viewing. We'll come back for the conclusion of this side of the wall.